Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. It's episode 4 of the Convention Reviews podcast. Still doing this, still going strong, kinda. I mean, it's Monday right now. I'm recording this on Monday, which I normally don't do. A little bit late. I normally record it on Sunday because this comes out on Monday. We'll talk about why I'm recording on Monday in a minute. But anyway, this is episode 4 of the Convention Reviews podcast. This is the official podcast for the Convention Reviews YouTube channel. Whether it's just me or I have a guest, which I don't again, this is where I talk about all things happening and coming up in the cosplay and convention world, as well as reading convention stories that you sent in, the listener, and ending it out by answering your questions. It posts every Monday on YouTube and the Convention Reviews SoundCloud. Coming soon to iTunes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm getting a little bit better at posting this to SoundCloud. I only missed last week's episode by like a day this time. I'm used to only having to upload to one place, so taking a minute to get used to that, but we're getting there. We are sponsored by the ACR Dealers Room once again, which can be found at shop.spreadshirt.com/convention reviews, and you can buy all your convention reviews merchandise over there. You should at least go look at it. I mean, at least go see what's going on. I mean, maybe you don't buy anything, but at least look at what we're offering. Just, check it out. So I did want to mention that episode 3, last week's episode, did even better than episode 2. Last week I was going on about how episode 2 surpassed episode 1 in like a couple of days. It was insane. Episode 3 passed episode 2 and oh my god, there's a dude outside really loud. Alright. Episode 3 passed episode 2 in views in like a day. It was insane. I could not believe it. So this is still getting bigger and bigger. It seems like people are listening and they keep coming back. There doesn't seem to be a drop off here, which is incredible. Not used to that. I did mention that I still have no guest. That's because it was going to be Dakota. Dakota was going to be the guest. Mr. Director, you guys know him from my channel. We were going to talk about the best parts of 2016, but it's starting to feel a little bit late for that. Like, we kind of missed our window to recap on 2016. So we're kind of working on thinking of a new topic to talk about. And I'll get him on here before long. But don't hold your breath, because apparently it's impossible. I am recording this on Monday, like I said earlier, and that's because I spent this weekend playing the Neo and Nier demos. Freaking awesome. I put like 10 hours into the Neo demo. 10 hours into a demo. That game looks amazing. And then Nier, I don't know if any of you guys played the original Nier, but it is so good. I love the original Nier so much, and I was really worried about the new one because it's not like a direct sequel. They're just kind of like, I really was thinking they were just going to use the name, but it still has the like beautiful music, and it's still Nier is cool because it's kind of like Kingdom Hearts, where it's an action RPG. It plays a lot like Kingdom Hearts, but it also, like, you'll go to a certain area and the camera will just switch and suddenly it's a side scroller. And then you'll go somewhere else and the camera will switch again and suddenly it's a top-down game. But it's all like super seamless. And then you'll just go out into another area and then suddenly it's back to that third person behind the character, Kingdom Hearts-esque perspective. It's incredibly cool. You guys should definitely check out Nier. Play the first one. It's so good. The new one's going to be great. If you don't want to play the first one, go back to your PS3 or whatever. But if you have a PS3, I think it's on Xbox 360 also. You should really play the original Nier. It's fantastic. The music is going to blow your mind. Actually, if you don't want to play it, then don't. But just go on YouTube after this. Like, maybe bring it up in a new tab so you don't forget. Just look up the Nier soundtrack. Oh my god. And that's Nier spelled N-I-E-R. Look up the soundtrack for that game. It's incredibly beautiful. And the language in it, as far as I remember, any time they're singing, it's all made up. It's just gibberish. As far as I remember, it's incredible. I did want to talk a little bit about streaming. A lot of you guys came to my stream last Sunday, I think it was. And that was awesome. I said I would be back the next day. I wasn't. I got busy. I'm a little bit iffy. I don't know what I want to do. I'm editing this music video, but I don't know if I love the direction it's going. And then I don't really have anything else to edit. So my update on streaming is when I have something to edit, I will stream. I promise to not edit without streaming anymore. I want to stream every time I edit. But since this channel's kind of on a hiatus right now, you know, there's not really anything to edit, unfortunately, but we'll get in there. Streams are going to become a bigger and bigger thing. And I'm thinking about it. I need you guys to let me know what you think. New Kingdom Hearts comes out tomorrow. Kingdom Hearts 2.8. I was really considering streaming it. What do you guys think? Would you watch if I streamed the new Kingdom Hearts? Let me know. Because if you guys are like, no, I don't care, I'm not going to watch, then I'm not going to stream it. And I'm just going to play it and enjoy it myself, which I would love to do. But if you guys do want to see it, I'll stream it. You guys just have to let me know. There is no news today. Well, I'm sure things have happened, but there's nothing I cared about. So we're skipping the news today, or this week. Our Carnivore of the Week. This is where I highlight someone from the Convention Reviews community for being awesome. Remember, to get yourself featured on here, all you have to do is be active. So comment anywhere you can. That's like on this video, on old videos, in the Convention Reviews community, on just a Facebook page, or even on my Instagram. I can shout you out from the Instagram. Which my Instagram name has changed, by the way. It's now Cody's World Travels. I'm kind of rebranding that. I do have an Instagram just for Convention Reviews, which is at the ACR Crew, if you want to check that out. But my personal Instagram is kind of getting rebranded to travel stuff. Not that there won't be convention and cosplay stuff on there. There will be, just like a rebranding thing. So anyway, comment anywhere you can, as much as you can, to get yourself featured. You can also email me at acrweekly@yahoo.com and tell me why you should be featured, but I can't promise anything. This is kind of like you did something awesome in the community, or you want a shout out for some reason. Like I said, I can't promise. I'm not just going to shout you out because you want it. Like, you need to have something, offer something. Like, say you have your own channel and you kind of want to get your name out there a little bit. Let me know. Let me know what you're doing on the channel, like why you deserve to be the Carnivore of the Week. You just got to be creative and think about it. You can definitely get featured just by writing me. But like I said, I can't promise. This week, it's Selza1013. I don't know if that's how she says it. Selza1013. She's been active on my videos and in my community for a long time. I remember seeing her for at least a year. Commenting, and especially in my community page, but she definitely comments on my videos a lot too. I see her all over the place, and she's growing a lot. She has her own channel, and it's grown significantly since the first time I ever saw it. She actually does vlogs at anime conventions as well, and a lot of the same ones that I go to. And I'm not just saying this because I'm being paid, because I'm not being paid. So that's out of the way. I really enjoy them. I really enjoy her vlogs. I think they're really well done, and they're a different perspective to look at, like the kind of cons I go to. Look at this through somebody else's eyes. So if you want to check her channel out, you really should. It's Selza, which is SELZA 1013. Just look that up. You'll find her channel. Check her videos out. Subscribe. She's doing good stuff over there. As far as the cons happening this weekend, these are all anime, comic, or gaming cons that I could find that are happening this weekend. And like I always say, I use multiple websites to compile this list. So if it's not on here, it's probably so insignificant that it barely even exists. And it needs to grow a little bit more before it makes it, because these are big websites that I'm using to get these cons from. So let's just run down the list. Okay, let me get a Google page open here really quick. So, because these abbreviated states be effing me up. I'm getting better. But I'm probably going to need this Google page to make sure I got my abbreviations on point. Number 1, AlmaCon. Happening at Alma College. In Alma, MI, is that Minnesota? I don't know. Michigan. Definitely should know that. Live right by Michigan. I'm sorry, Michigan. Anyway, that's AlmaCon, Alma, Michigan, January 27th through the 29th. Next is Anime Los Angeles. Wonder where that one's at. It says Ontario, CA. That's not Los Angeles. I don't know anything about California though, so maybe that's part of Los Angeles. I don't effing know. Google says it's 35 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. Close enough. Anime Los Angeles, California, 27th through the 29th. Next is Comic-Con, happening in Birmingham, AL, which is Alabama. Alabama, boom, 1 point for me. Comic-Con, that's again the 27th through the 29th. And finally, ZipCon in Akron, Ohio. I got that one on point. Ohio, memorized. Call it memorized. And ZipCon is just for January 28th, one-day con. It's at the University of Akron Student Union. I don't know. Check it out. 5 is PAX South. I had no idea PAX South was this weekend. Shows how much attention I'm paying to PAX. And that's not like, I'm not trying to hate on PAX. I'm just saying. Never been. That is the 27th through the 29th. And it's in San Antonio, Texas. Got that one memorized too. Number 6 is Running Gag. I think is how you say this. It's running and then G-A-G-G. The G-A-G-G is all caps. So I assume it's Running Gag. And it's in, oh my God, Geneseo? Geneseo? Oh, New York. You New York people probably hate me right now. Don't know how to say that. Somewhere in New York. It's from the 27th through the 29th. 7 is LumaCon in Petaluma, California, from the 27th through the 29th. People be slamming doors. Next is GCOM's Winter Game Fest in Rockville, MD, Maryland. Maryland. I was right on the money. Rockville, Maryland, from the 28th through the 29th. 9 is North Texas Comic Book Show. I wonder where that's at. Spoiler, it's Texas, Dallas, Texas. January 28th through the 29th. 10 is Southern Field Pop Culture and Comic Show in Jackson, Tennessee, from January 28th through the 29th again. 11 is STCE's Comic-Con. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Probably stands for something. In Laredo, Texas, from the 28th through the 29th. 12 is Orlando Toy and Comic-Con in Orlando, Florida, from only on the 29th. One-day con. Oh, there's a train coming, guys. I apologize. This happened in episode 2 also, I think. It's really loud and annoying. Just ignore it. Just try to ignore it. Finally, the last con is C3, which stands for, much like E3, but way smaller. Stands for Cosplay Collectible Con. There's the train. Shut up. Cosplay Collectible Con. I think that's what it stands for. C3. In Morristown, New Jersey. And that's only on the 28th. That's all our cons. I need a drink of water. Just talking, it gets your throat a bit scratchy. Much better. Alright. Next up is the convention story time. And this train's gonna ruin it. It's so sad. But it'll pass. This is where you guys send me in stories of crazy things that happen to you while at a convention, and I read it on the show for everyone. Remember, if you want to get your story read on the show, just email it to me at acrstories@yahoo.com. Seriously, guys, send me some stories in. I think I've only had one person send in a story since I started the podcast. Luckily, I have a backlog of like 40 to 60 stories that people have sent me in the past. So, I mean, we're going to be good for a while. But some of the stories aren't good. I'm just going to be real. There are definitely stories I get where I'm like, I'm sorry. I appreciate that you sent this in. This is not quality for the podcast. I cannot read this. Either it's written horribly, which I can just rewrite it. If the content's good, I will rewrite your story if you write it horribly. But some stories are just so... like, the things that happen to people, they're so insignificant that I'm like, how do you even remember that? Like, I have that kind of crap happen, like, on the daily. That is not a big deal. I mean... okay, but on to today's story. This is by I Don't Effing Know, because they didn't send in their name. Let me know your name. I mean, unless you don't want it. Maybe they don't want to... maybe they want to be anonymous. I don't know. I was kind of hoping the train would be gone by the time I started, but it's not, so we're just gonna go. Hi, so, since you tell other people's stories about conventions and all, I thought I could share something that happened to me once a few years back, and it can sound a bit unbelievable, but it's something I still suffer from today, and I thought it would be a good example of when things go way too far. Here's the story of how I got permanent damage to my head because of a cosplayer. This was one of the first conventions I ever went to and the first time I was cosplaying. I'm not going to name the convention since none of you would know about it, and I don't remember anything else from it but these two events. So I was about 11 or 12 years old when this happened. Young. Just want to say young. I don't see a lot of kids that young at cons. 11 or 12 years old when this happened, and I was cosplaying Prussia from Hetalia. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. Yes, I am. A convention story, and you're cosplaying from Hetalia. Why am I not surprised? No hate on Hetalia. I'm just saying. Seems like a lot of things happen with this fandom. I'm just saying. It's a fact. I'm not hating on the show. I'm not even hating on the cosplayers. It just seems a lot of things happen. Okay. Prussia from Hetalia. I was having a pretty good day on the Saturday of the convention, and I was at a Hetalia meetup with a few friends. When suddenly, this girl who was cosplaying Hungry just runs up to me and hits me right in the back of the head with a cast iron skillet she was carrying. I'm not saying anything. I passed out from the hit, for a good 10 minutes before I woke up to my friend shaking me and calling out my name. The girl who had hit me and some of her friends were laughing at me through the whole ordeal. Another friend of mine had gone to get some convention staff there, and I was led to the ER of the con. I didn't feel bad at the moment or anything, just a bit dizzy. So after talking to the ER people and getting some painkillers, I just continued my day normally. After about an hour or two, I found out that the girl who had hit me was kicked out of the convention, and her friends were extremely ticked at me. Well, I mean, she hit you in the head with a pan. Her friends don't realize that you don't hit people with pans? Come on. I lost my spot. Every time they saw me, they were glaring at me and yelling rude stuff at me. But I really don't remember much of it, and the reason why was found out on the following week of the convention. I should have rewrote that sentence. I suddenly got really sick and just passed out in the middle of the day, and I wasn't waking up, so my mother called an ambulance. I was taken to the hospital, and there I found out that the back of my skull had actually cracked, and I had a severe concussion. Ouch. I apparently also had high risk of getting an, oh Jesus Christ, intracranial hemorrhage. So I had to stay in the hospital for about 2 weeks before they believed that I was fine to go home, though they kept checking on me regularly until my skull had healed completely. However, this did cause me temporary amnesia, and it has affected my memory by making me forget things that have just happened. I'm now turning 18. Needless to say, I have not cosplayed Prussia since, due to the constant paranoia of being hit on the head again. I will say that is insane. That is absolutely insane. And I don't want to pass judgment down on the Hetalia fandom, like I kind of sounded like I was earlier. All I'm saying is I'm not overly surprised that it was Hetalia fans that hit someone else with a skillet, a cast iron skillet. I think it's because, let me just put this out here. I want to hedge a little bit. Hetalia's fine. Really, if you like the show, that's fine. If you cosplay from Hetalia, that's fine. I think the reason that the Hetalia fandom has a bad rep, and it does, and not every cosplayer who cosplays Hetalia does bad things. Not even close. Maybe like 5%. I think it's because the demographic of Hetalia seems to be a younger crowd. And when you get a lot of younger people like that all together, sometimes things can happen. And I think that's why things seem to constantly happen with Hetalia. Of course, it's slowed down because people aren't cosplaying Hetalia as much anymore these days. I mean, they are, but it's not as crazy as like when I first started going to cons. But it's just interesting. I really think that's what it is. I really don't like when people pass down judgment on the Hetalia fandom. I'm actually trying to defend you guys right now. Because I really don't think it's Hetalia's fault. I don't think it's the entire fandom's fault. I just think when some people get together, the group mentality, just bad things happen. And I've heard way, way bad stories about things that have happened with the Hetalia fandom. So this does not surprise me at all. Topic of the week. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted to talk about this week, and it actually wasn't my idea. Someone else suggested it, that I should talk about how this all got started. How I started with making videos, actually. And it goes way, way back. The beginning, I was a child. Very, very young. And I remember this kind of. My brother and I think we did puppet shows. And we had this little camera. Not little, it was a big camera. At the time, it was a really good camera that my parents had. And they let us use it. And I was always kind of the director. And I would direct my brother, Chris, around to do these videos, and we would also put on these like puppet shows for the camera and record them. I remember vividly recording things on that camera, and that was the beginning. And I'm talking I was young. I mean, I can't give you an age, but like probably below 8 at least. And I was a young kid. And that was kind of the beginning. I was always fascinated with video, like always. I don't know why. I can't explain it. Then later, YouTube became a thing. I actually remember the first time I ever saw YouTube ever. My younger brother was using it to watch Kingdom Hearts AMVs. And I was like, what is this website? Is this website safe? Blah, 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 blah. I was going on and on about it. And he's like, it's cool, dude. It's fine. And that was like 2006. So this is the first year that YouTube even existed. He was watching Kingdom Hearts 2 AMV to Bring Me to Life by Evanescence. That whole sentence, Kingdom Hearts 2, Bring Me to Life, Evanescence, that was 2006. I mean, let's just be real. Good times. Wish we could go back. But I don't. Though I do wish we could just have Kingdom Hearts 3. That would be nice. And so I got into YouTube, and then after a while, I started watching Smosh, and then eventually Shane Dawson. I remember watching Nigahiga. All these other channels that were big at the very beginning of YouTube, when people were really first learning how to do this. Nothing had good production value at all, but it was okay because it had heart, and it was just good. And then Chris, that's my brother, we had a neighbor named Dylan, and our childhood friend Mason and we all decided we were gonna do this. We're gonna do YouTube because Mason had a camera. And we could do this. Like, All we have to do is figure it out. So we made a channel. The name, SVR TV. Now let me explain. We had a band, quote unquote, just me, Chris, and Mason, that was called Strange Visitors. All right. Horrible name. Should have been named Pandas on the Fritz. Should have been the name the whole time. But it was called Strange Visitors. Then we broke up. We were like, we can't do this. And then I came around. I was like, let's get back together. We can do this. So we changed it to SVR, which meant Strange Visitors Reanimated. Dumb kids. By this point, I'm like a freshman in high school. And so we're trying to brand everything around SVR, Strange Visitors Reanimated. So we made our channel SVR TV. We couldn't get that. It was taken by Smash vs. Raw. Didn't know what that was at the time. So we named it The SVR TV. Channel still exists to this day. You can find it. Not all the videos are on there, though. A lot of them are gone because we used a lot of copyrighted music back in the day. So got taken down. But there are things on there all the way up to, I think 2014 is the last time maybe 2015 is the last time we posted. I think it's 2014, though. All the way up to there. And we did, sketch videos, pretty much. We were trying to be like Smosh, but we were just dumb, high school kids. And eventually, we started getting better. I got my own camera eventually. We were just using Mason's for a long time. And then I became friends with Dakota again. Now, I've actually known Dakota since first grade, believe it or not. And he went off to, this Christian school eventually, which is where he met Nate. So that's how, all the crew's kind of starting to form here. And then eventually Dakota came back to my school, the public school. And we became friends again a little bit, but we didn't really talk throughout all of middle school. And it wasn't until sophomore year of high school we were put in I don't remember what it was actually called, but it was a multimedia class. It was about doing video and making websites and things like that. And so just by the nature of that, we had to make some little videos, and we got paired together. The teacher didn't care at all what we did. She was the most I don't give an F teacher that I've ever met in my life. And so we just did whatever we wanted. I remember we got zeros on that final because we didn't even do them. We just got zeros. We just did whatever we wanted. Didn't matter. The credit wasn't required. Whatever. I was a bad student. Don't be me. Oh shoot. Sorry, my laptop just went dark. Looks like it was still recording. That scared the crap out of me. It was trying to go to sleep. Anyway, so me and Dakota got paired up, and that's when more videos started to come. More videos started to happen. I was like, let's put Dakota in this thing. Because he had a dream to be an actor. He was always on stage. He was doing that stuff. Thespian. And so I was like, let's put Dakota in this. We started getting him in more videos, and then the videos were really starting to come. We really started to sit down. We were working out ideas. Me and Dakota together, we became the directors and the writers on this thing, except there wasn't a lot of writing happening. See, that was our big problem. We were lazy. So back then, we would come up with an idea, and then we would just go record it and come up with lines and come up with the story as we recorded it. We didn't really write anything down ever. So that was a big problem. And yeah, so it just continued to grow like that. And then eventually through that, I was the dude with a camera. I eventually just got a better camera, better and better, until I started doing parkour, which I trained parkour for 3 years, parkour and free running. Believe it or not, some of you guys might not know that about me. And I actually plan to get back into it this year, so you might see more of that stuff. If you watch my travel videos, you'll probably see a little bit of parkour in there. Not a lot, but you'll see some probably. And since I was the dude with the camera, if you don't know anything about parkour culture, it's actually a big thing to be on YouTube. Every parkour group has their own, at least little YouTube channel, and, they're all out there trying to get their name out there, and so it's a thing. And we decided, I decided, I'm gonna record us, and I'm gonna edit our videos, and we're gonna get YouTube famous. And I'm still doing SVR TV at this time, and so I'm kind of splitting between both of these things. So we started training parkour. We got this group together called Pulse Parkour, and I was recording all our stuff. The videos were on a channel called Those Crazy Kids 122. Might still be able to find it. I'm not really sure. I think you can. They're not great videos, but they're really important. They're where I learned to edit music videos. Because immediately after the parkour stuff, is when the convention started. And I started recording us going to cons. We did 3 cons before I decided to make convention reviews, which only happened because I had a channel called Parkour Reviews, where I record different locations that were good for training parkour, and I would talk about them and put them online so that people knew that they were great spots to come and train at. And I was like, this is an awesome idea. That channel was growing. It was my first channel to ever hit 100 subscribers. And I was like, well, I like this convention stuff too, so I'm going to make this channel Convention Reviews. Just kind of go off the same blah, blah, blah reviews branding that I was using. And that's the beginning. I went to Anime Midwest 2013, and I did not know what I was doing at all. I had no idea how to write a review, how to review anything. I didn't know how to make a cosplay music video. I didn't know how to vlog in that way. No clue at all. And I just went and did it. And it kind of connects back to the first topic I ever did on the show, which is about just kind of getting started. And that's exactly what I did. I just said, F it. I want to do this. So just do it. Like, I'll figure it out as I go. The videos weren't great. I'm not going to say they were bad. They were decent because I already had all that other experience coming up from recording all this other stuff. But, yeah, I just did it. And I'm really proud of that. And I just continue to keep doing it. And you guys can do the same. I mean, I don't mean to turn this inspirational again, but, like, really, guys, whatever it is, just do it. Just get started. Whatever it is you want to do. All right, I need to get a drink of water. My throat's getting sore again. This is ridiculous. Talking a lot is harder than it sounds. All right, on to the Q&A portion. We have 3 questions this week. All kind of long, so sit back. We got some novels here for you. Every week, I end the episode off by answering your questions. Remember that if you have a question, or for that matter, even something you want to hear me talk about for the next week's topic of the show, send it to me at acrweekly@yahoo.com, or you can comment it on the YouTube version of this on the most recent one. I only take questions from the most recent podcast, because if I just leave them all open for taking questions, then things will come at random at all times and I'll never be able to organize it. So if you're listening to this when it's new, you can comment on this right now and I will take that question. Number 1 actually does come from YouTube. Frogman XYZ 1997 says, Hey, my question was answered, and as a main topic too. As someone who has started cosplaying and is in college, he is right about a lot of stuff here. Oh, he's talking about my topic on the last episode. I basically stopped gaming just to get my current cosplay done and to balance out school because college Calculus 2 is hard. All the while, it's my final semester and getting transfer applications out there is more work. But really, guys, this video ties into the first podcast topic. Sorry, he's going on about the last episode. You just gotta go for it. Either it being cosplay or saving for a con. I personally have a slight fear of driving, but going to more cons is what is making me get over that fear, knowing that it's up to me to accomplish a goal. In the end, Cody, thanks for the tips, bro. Never thought about sleeping out of a car. Try it out, not as bad as it sounds. Also, here's a question for next week. Have you ever done a cosplay? If so, what of, and any cosplay making tips? A lot of you guys probably know I don't like to cosplay because I have such a major passion for video. So I spend all my money. Cosplay is very expensive. So is video. I spend all my money and all my resources into video and getting better equipment. So I'm not saying I would not ever cosplay. I would one day if I'm rich and can afford to do both. But right now, I just focus on video, and I have cosplayed, so no future cosplay plans. But I've cosplayed Toby from Naruto. Just kind of bought this stuff at a con while I was there. I'm like, let's do this. It was awesome. People took pictures of me. It was fun. And then I also cosplayed Sly Cooper. My girlfriend at the time, no longer dating, but at the time, she made that cosplay for me. And if you somehow hear this, still appreciate that, even though I didn't wear it very much. It was awesome, really well done. But it was difficult for me to wear and do video. I had to have a cane, and he has a mask, and it like kept falling in my eyes. It was very difficult to do video and wear that. I could have made it work if I didn't have to do video, but I want to make sure my vlogs are fantastic and well done. So I took it off. Those are the only cosplays I've ever done. And I accidentally was Peter Parker once. I had glasses on, and I had a Spider-Man shirt and the camera. And everywhere I went, people thought I was cosplaying Peter Parker, so I just went with it. I mean, I love Spider-Man, so. Best superhero, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Next question is by Who711, again from YouTube. How do you go to so many cons without getting bored or getting old after a while? I've been to 7 so far, 3 unique, 2 of which were very large, Youmacon and Anime Central, as well as KitsuneCon, over the course of about 3 years, and it's starting to get a little old. I may go to 1 or 2 this year, but I can't imagine myself going to nearly as many as you have in such a short amount of time. I actually took a break in 2016 to take a brief trip to Chicago. From what I can tell, anime cons basically follow the same basic formula. Dealer's room with a lot of similar merch and or artists. AMV viewing rooms. I mean, if we're lucky, let's be honest. Some cons don't even have AMV viewing rooms, which sucks. Regular viewing rooms. Maybe a manga room, perhaps a maid cafe, and a bunch of fan and industry panels, many of which might get very repetitive if you go to a lot of cons, it seems. At least based on personal experience and the various con schedules I've read on loads of sites. I actually totally agree with that. They do get repetitive. A photo shoot for various cosplay, a game room, and maybe a few other things, like a rave one night, or all the nights. I added that in. For me, it's starting to get too predictable. Kind of like if I've been to one, I've been to several. Where's the magic? Does the fact that you're reviewing newer cons in terms of your own experience, that is, kind of freshen up the experience, or do you just love cons that much? What cons would you recommend for someone who's feeling a bit jaded, so to speak? You know, to spice up my convention experience once more. I would recommend going to Dragon Con. I'm not joking. Make it happen. Just go to Atlanta. Atlanta is a big city that's all connected. You do not need to stay in one of the main hotels. Stay in any hotel you can get in Atlanta. And it's very, very easy and cheap to just take the MARTA over, which is the underground subway, from wherever your hotel is, to the Dragon Con area of Atlanta. And it takes up the entire, main downtown part of Atlanta, is the whole con. It's very different. It will definitely freshen up cons for you. And I will say, the way I keep cons fresh isn't by doing things at cons. It's not by going to new raves. It's not by going to different dealers' rooms or different viewer rooms or going to panels. I agree it all gets boring. It does all get repetitive. I don't agree that you've been to one, you've been to all of them. Because there are differences. But I think the big thing for me is location. I really like seeing the different locations where cons take place. That's cool. That freshens things up because it's sort of the travel aspect. Go to a new city, that sort of thing. Don't think of it just as I'm just going to a con. Think of I'm traveling to a new city, a new area. that I'm going to explore. But the my real piece of advice here is the best way to keep cons fresh is to meet new people. And I made a whole video about this. I think it's called I don't remember what it's called. It's like how to have fun at cons, something like that. And it did pretty well. You should go check it out because I go way more in detail. Cons are about meeting people, you guys. You need to talk to people, however you can do it. Talk to people, make friends, make connections. That is what cons are about. The people, always. And it will get very, very, very boring if you just go to cons and you don't meet people, you don't talk to anybody, and you just kind of recluse into yourself. It will get boring. You have got to talk to people and make friends at cons. It is magical, really. It changes the game. I do not just love cons that much. I do not just love cons enough to have gone to almost 40 in the past 3 years. It's the people. It really is. It really, really is. You got to make some connections and go to Dragon Con. I'm not kidding. Just make it happen. It's not as hard as you think it is. I thought it was really difficult to make it to Dragon Con. Very easy. Just do it. It'll ruin every single other con for you, but it sounds like you're already done with other cons anyway. So just go to Dragon Con. Finally, this was sent in by email. Dear Cody, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Because of you, I was able to get the courage to start my own cosplay channel on YouTube. Very awesome. Glad to hear that. I was debating on if I should start my vlog or not. After listening to all your videos and all the fun you and your friends have, I just told myself, do it. So now I have my own channel thanks to you. Listen to this, guys. You can do your thing too, whatever it is you want to do. Also, on a side note, I want to apologize for acting so fangirlish when we met at Anime Midwest 2016 on Friday. And the sad part is the picture never saved to my boyfriend's phone. 3 frowny faces. But I got to meet you, and you gave me a shout out in your video. I felt all giddy inside. That's great to hear. I'm glad I could make you feel giddy. Okay, sorry for rambling. My question is 2-part. First part is your anime convention planning. Are you thinking of coming over to Cincinnati, Ohio? I will probably end up there, not because of anime conventions, but I will probably go around the time of a con just to go to a con there. But I actually have a very close friend. This goes back to the parkour stuff. A really close friend from back in the parkour days who actually has his own parkour gym in Cincinnati now called Swift Movement, I'm pretty sure. If you're into parkour and you're in the area, check it out. Shout out to that. Shout out to him. And I want to go up there and visit him and visit the gym. I will be up there at some point this year, and I'll try to plan it around a con. The second part is for your traveling vlog. Are you coming to Northern Kentucky? It's okay if you're not. I was just curious about your convention and travel plans. Eventually. No plans on it right now. But eventually I will. My plans for traveling America right now, just to kind of give you a peek behind the curtain, is to go to every single national park in America and record the journey. Just so you know. So, is there a national park in Northern Kentucky? I just hit my mic. I don't remember. If there is, it'll bring me there. Let me know if there is one there. I mean, I could just look it up. Okay, thank you for reading my email. Have an awesome day. Best cosplay wishes. Fly you later, Cosplay Butterfly. I do remember you, Cosplay Butterfly, by the way. I definitely do. Because you had a strong reaction to seeing us. Alright, that's it, guys. Don't forget that there are links to all the equipment that I use to run the channel, including this podcast, in the description. Go check those out. Make some purchases. Start your own channel. Change your life. Follow my personal Instagram at Cody's World Travels. And follow my Convention Reviews Instagram at the ACR Crew. You can also join the Facebook community. If you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description. If not, go on Facebook and look up Carnivores/Convention Reviews Community. I post there all the time, along with the rest of the crew and hundreds of fans of the channel. That's it, guys. And I'll see you next week. Have a good one.